I am so excited to work with the brand new November 2018 kit and add-ons from Elle Studio today on a layout that is really special to my heart. You can see the two pictures that I pulled out there. They're both 3 inches by 4 inches, and I'm going to be creating an 8.5 inch by 11 inch layout. Now, the first thing I do when I grab my kit is pull out all of the die cuts that I think will match with the colors in my kit. Now you can see that the photos that I have chosen are really perfect for this kit because there's a lot of teals and greens and navy blues. And this kit has a lot of teal and green and navy blue. It also has red and pink, but I'm going to be focusing on just the teal and green and navy today. Now this Moments tag, it's a 3 inch by 4 inch tag in the kit, is my favorite tag from the kit. I think it's beautiful. I love that pretty seafoam kind of green with the dark green font. I am grabbing my Merry and Bright. This is the brand new 6 inch by 6 inch paper stack, and I'm going to be pulling out some of the colors that I can find in my photos. I really love that navy blue pattern, but I don't want too much of it to show because it is kind of overwhelming, and I think it could take over some of the attention on my layout. So what I'm doing is going to layer that up with that green diagonal stripe to add that to the base of my layout. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just trimming the green paper, and because of the diagonal lines, I'm going to have to cut two 6 inch pieces because this is a 6 inch paper stack. But I'm going to also have to trim it so that the lines match up correctly. Now I'm just going to layer that blue underneath the green and do that first and foremost. I really love this blue pattern. I think it's really pretty. I wanted you to see more of the dots on it, which is why I placed it vertically instead of horizontally. Because there's white dots, there's teal dots, and I wanted you to see the different sizes and colors. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to have to kind of amend it a little bit just so I can get those lines to match up. So you can see here that if I place them both together, the lines don't match up. But what I can do is grab this other sheet and line them up, trim just a tiny bit off of this other piece here, and definitely try not to rip that in the process. It's literally about 1/8 of an inch, but I'm going to try to trim that off, especially with some permanent adhesive on the back. That makes it a bit trickier. Okay, so I have that trimmed, and I'm just going to use my scissors to cut off the excess paper on my layout. Now the grid that I used on the background is really fantastic. It's from the Noteworthy collection, and you can see there that it has that really cool teal polka dot on the back, but I'm using the grid on this one so I have a nice clean background. I already love the way that those pattern papers look with my photos. Super fun. I also love using those two vertical photos with that vertical 3 by 4 inch tag. Super fun. So one thing I wanted to do at the top of my layout was to create a little bit of an accent by tearing my page. And I love that when you tear this, you can see that really great polka dot on the back. So I'm just doing this kind of like a wonky little tear here, and then I'm going to pop a sheet of pattern paper behind from the Merry & Bright paper stack. Just trying to decide if I like the green better or the blue better. And I think I definitely like the blue better. Let me see the green again, because the blue has more contrast to that teal polka dot and the white background. And I definitely like doing it in the vertical sense too. Okay, so we're definitely going to go with the blue. I'm just going to cut out a little piece here with my scissors so that I can adhere that to the back. And I'm also going to use my tiny attacher to adhere those torn pieces down so that those kind of stay in place. Plus it just creates a little accent, a little metallic on the page. Now I got my permanent adhesive kind of on the edges here, so I'm just taking some baby powder there um, to make that not sticky on the back, because the last thing I want is for it to, uh, let's be honest, stick to another layout in my giant pile of finished layouts. Especially if it's stuck to a photo, I would be really upset to that. So there we go. There's my little tear at the top of the page. Really love that and the way it looks. Now, for the sneak video, I went ahead and stamped this bow of greenery. I'm not sure if you say bow or bow. I don't know. Bow, I think. Bow. We're going to go with that. And I have one here, but I wanted to add some more. So I've stamped a few ones in different green colors here, and I am just fussy cutting those out. But I also want to add a bit of a metallic shine to my layout. So I'm also going to use some Versamark here and some copper embossing powder, which is really exciting because I hardly ever use copper, and I think I have two containers of it. This is Stampin' Up's copper powder that I'm using. They have really great embossing powders. And I'm just going to go ahead and heat set that really quickly. Okay, for my title, I want to use my title builder stamp set, and I also want to use embossing powder for this one. So I'm just stamping the word treasure onto a sheet of smooth white cardstock using the copper embossing powder again, and I was too lazy to even get out my embossing tray here, so I just kind of dumped it back in the pot. And I simply fussy cut that out once I had it heat set. So you can see that word there, the treasure word. I also fussy cut all of my greenery out, and I added my journaling using Photoshop elements to the moments tag. So the idea that I have for my title is to use one of the November labels, that's the teal one that I cut out there, the word treasure, and the navy blue puffy alphabet stickers, which are brand new to the shop this month. So what I'm doing is spelling out the word this on the label, and then I can put the word treasure either to the left or on the top, however I want to add that to my layout. Now, because I have my photos and kind of journaling tagged the way I like them right now, I'm going to go ahead and adhere those down. I'm going to use dimensional adhesive on my photos to give those some lift. Okay, next I have all of these branches. I'm just going to use the word branches now to add to my layout. And I have a lot here, and my idea was to kind of add those to the bridge between the moments journaling tag and my photo at the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of group them together here, add some adhesive to the top, and stick those right behind my photo. I'm going to do the same to the left side, kind of alternating the colors that I'm using, and just so they look like they're kind of added in behind my photo. And then I'm just going to see how many actually look right here. Just going to kind of play around with the placement of these a bit. Okay, so I have all of my branches in place, and I'm going to add my title kind of right below that. There's a lot of negative space in my photo there with the white building next to us. And I'm just going to try to figure out how to do this. Now, if I tuck the word this on the November label behind there, then I'll have to put the word treasure over the top. Also going to cut out this navy blue November label too. And trying to see here if there's anything else I should be putting the word treasure onto instead of the teal label. I really do like the navy blue there. And I'm going to add my navy blue puffy alphabet stickers to that label too. It really bothers me that there's so much white space to the left of the word this, so I'm going to tuck that underneath my photo. I also want to grab some of the die cuts to kind of tuck around my pictures and around where those branches are and things like that. So I'm going to cut that label in half so that I don't waste the other bit there. And I'm just going to add some dimensional adhesive behind the word treasure on the right side so that I can bump that up because I already have some dimensional adhesive behind my photo. The other side will just be regular adhesive so that it can stick to my photo. So I've definitely committed with my title there. Just seeing what other bits from the monthly kit I can add to the layout. Or if I want to continue that label across the photo, which looks pretty nice. Okay, so I'm just adding a few of the die cuts around here. I really love that teal arrow pointing to the photo from my journaling. And I've also used one of the hand-drawn acrylic hearts there inside of that label on the left side of my photo. And the best way I find to adhere these acrylic pieces are with glue dots. They stick forever. You never have to worry about waiting for glue to dry because it just takes forever. So I always use glue dots. These phrase stickers this month are so fantastic, and I was just thinking of sticking a couple amongst the branches here. Just so you have a few words among there. I keep trying to use this die cut, but it just doesn't seem to fit anywhere. And I love the love this photo that was stamped from the November stamp this month, which is called Merry Moment Stamp. That's also the stamp that the branches came from. And I just layered that label that I stamped on there onto a die cut from the kit, and I'm adding that to the top. There's this gathered together stamped image that I also had too, but that doesn't really fit in there. Just seeing if I need any more phrase stickers, maybe on the right side, since I already have one on the left side, or this die cut here instead from the kit. And I think the die cut will work out really well. So I'm going to add that one in there. So in the Merry Moments stamp, there is a set of 3 little berries, and I've arranged them on my stamp block, and I'm just going to go ahead and emboss these with that same copper embossing powder. Again, not using a tray, just kind of winging it here. The only thing that you have to be concerned with when embossing in place is that your photos will burn, so you have to be really careful when you do this on a layout after you have everything in place. But that's a chance I'm going to take because I just want that extra bit of metallic sparkle on here. This one is going to be the most dangerous since it's closest to my photo at the top. And really, you just have to heat set it just until you see it turn. So I did it really quickly there. And with dots this small, it doesn't take long at all. There we go. So I have those dots on there. Okay, so this layout has been sitting on my desk after I finished that heat embossing, and a couple of things were really bothering me. I felt like all I could see on this layout were those branches and not my photos, and that really bothers me since the whole reason for me creating this layout is because of the photos, and it just wasn't feeling right to me. So I want to show you how I am kind of tearing it apart, but in a very careful way. Everything is adhered down with permanent adhesive, but I find that if you pull it up properly, you do it in the right kind of way, and sometimes you have to cut your dimensional adhesive, which I'm doing here with an X-Acto blade. You can pull it apart without losing any of the elements. So what I'm doing here is just kind of moving my photo over slightly. It was bothering me that you were losing that journaling spot at the bottom of the moments tag, and I wanted to add something in there. It was also bothering me just how heavy all of the branches felt on the page. So I wanted to change that, and already this is feeling so much better without having the branches across the middle of the page. And I can put one of those beautiful phrase stickers right there at the bottom of my journaling tag. So that makes me happy. I also moved up this label with the hand-drawn heart acrylic. Moved that up slightly so that it was in the space between my photos, and I'm going to place that at an angle. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these back in place and add this little stamped die cut banner combination here right in there over the branches. So that was at the top before, and now I've placed it kind of at the center. This little snowflake die cut, I'm trying to find a little home for it. And I'm just going to scooch my moments tag out slightly. I'm going to put a fresh dimensional dot on there so that I can adhere that back down in its new place. I like it right there. And so this feels a lot more balanced to me. Also, my photos see more of the focus of this page instead of all of those stamped branches. So I like that much more. Before I finalize this layout, I'm going to add a few shorter branches to the left side so that you'll see that on these photos. I really love the kit this month. I love the teal, green, and navy blue combination that I used on this layout because it was perfect with our family photos from last year, which I still hadn't scrapbooked, which is crazy. You can see that I had a great time stamping and fussy cutting this month. Those branches are so fun. And my title there, which I stamped with the title builder set and fussy cut out, super fun too. So I added a few branches over there to the left side, but I feel like the page is much more balanced and it makes me very, very happy. Thank you so much for watching this process video. Be sure to check out the Elle Studio November 2018 kit and add-ons in the link in my video notes before they're gone from the shop. Thanks so much for watching and happy creating.